welcome back to the Die Again podcast, the single greatest audio blog remaining on this internet. Not the other internets, but just this one. Consider upgrading to internet premium to get the other ones.
Starting at the low price of $9.99 a month.
Yeah, we're a tabletop role-playing game podcast. I'm your game master, Josiah, and with me as always is the player,
William.
And where we last left off, you had just exited we'll call it an airlock. It's not exactly. It's sort of like an artificial atmosphere because you want to get to the police station as fast as possible, or specifically the level you need to get to. So I want you to make an astropiloting awareness check for me.
Okay, this is a first for this character. So that will be astropiloting is at -1 and 4. So 3 to my roll. So 10 base.
All right, with a 10, you notice that there is another vehicle following you. You know, maybe they could just be going the same direction, but you just notice that.
Okay.
Your trip goes without incident, but thanks to your awareness roll, you do notice that this car seems to follow you all the way to the police station and then turns to go away.
Like right at the police station?
Yeah, basically, it's like it watches you park and then leaves.
Okay. Is there a chance that any cameras on my car would have caught their license plate, eventually?
They may have, and possibly the police station's cameras could have. If you want to try and get a picture yourself, I'd say that's just going to be a flat awareness roll.
Okay. I'll try that really quick. With the awareness of 4, that is a total of 7.
Yeah, so as you're used to with all the characters you have that have cameras, you get a really shitty photo.
It seems to be the theme. Okay, so I'll probably see about asking the station if they have any video that shows that guy's tags, but otherwise I'm not going to worry about that right now. As I leave my police car, though, I'm going to go ahead and put on my police-issued armor and just put that on.
All right, that'll take a little bit of time. You were in a hurry, so that's the only reason I'm bringing that up.
It would take a significant amount of time for...
A decent amount, because you kind of have to get it out and you have to strap it on. It's not a trivial thing.
Okay. You know what? Then never mind. I'll go ahead. I'll just take it with me, though. I'm not going to leave it in the cop car and go into the police station.
All right, you head in. As I recall, you had Ricky was the one who was trying to stall for you, correct? Ricky Thompson.
I believe so.
What'd you have Amos doing? You have him looking into something.
Amos... No. Okay, Amos is watching Dalton.
Okay, Amos is stalling.
Yes, it's Ricky who was looking into Catherine and Coney, and the last thing I had him do was start looking into Lisa Green.
Okay, you can see right away Amos is, you know how when you're trying to keep someone from getting into a doorway and you're sort of like shuffling back and forth while talking to them? He's doing that with someone in a suit. Not a human, but more or less human. There's sort of one of the humanoid aliens.
So Amos is basically keeping who I presume is the lawyer from getting inside.
Basically. And you're hearing a lot of what you would know to be pretty clear lies of like, oh, there's maintenance down the hall. We can't let you through at the moment.
There's a gas leak. Is there a back way for me to get inside the police station without having to interfere with Amos's distraction?
Let's see. Why don't you make a creativity bureaucracy check?
Okay, so total that will be +3. Let's see if I can roll. Somewhat decent. 12 total. Not too bad.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. So you remember you can get through records, take a couple of maintenance hallways and get there. So you get back to his holding cell. He looks a lot more strung out now, a lot less relaxed.
Okay. So then I go up to him and I go, "Who is she now?"
Where are they?
I'm Batman.
You're gonna have the fucking Joker interrogation scene from the Christopher Nolan films.
Yeah, that one involved a pencil going in places it shouldn't go. Okay, so he's not looking so great. Who else is around?
I mean, there's some other people. These are kind of like drunk tanks, so there's just some random people. But right now, there's no one like watching the area. There's cameras, obviously, but...
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go into his section, I guess.
Okay.
So I go up to Dalton and say, "How are you feeling?"
Like, I should already be out of here. You must be pulling some strings.
Well, who's to say, honestly? But, yeah, is the death of your dad hitting you finally? How are you feeling about all that?
Oh, who gives a fuck about that old asshole?
But from what I hear, you kind of rely a lot on your dad and his company. So I would imagine you'd have to care about his well-being.
Make a influence interrogation check.
Okay, so +4 to my roll. 13.
So he says, you want to know a big secret to how all this works? If you owe the mob 100 credits, you owe the mob. But if you owe the mob 1,000,000 credits, the mob owes you. They need me to pay this. So I'm not worried about that.
So you're not worried about your dad's death because you still have to pay off the mob bosses.
Exactly. They're going to keep me in good condition so I can collect my inheritance.
Right. Okay, so I say to him then, well, what can you tell me about Lisa Green?
My dad was fucking her? What do you want me to say? She gets around. No.
Is there a chance that she could be pulling some strings to take away your inheritance money?
I don't see how. I mean, she didn't like Mom, but that's about it.
When he says mom, he's not talking about his wife. He's talking about his mom.
You would know he's talking about Catherine. I probably didn't convey it there. He says it sneeringly, like...
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really do it right, but he's...
Like mom.
Yeah.
Kind of...
Mom? Yeah. I can't pause it. It's an online game.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, Dalton. If you're so concerned about being able to pay the mob, why aren't you taking control of your dad's company? Why aren't you taking that seriously?
Why would I? Think about it. I just get my cut of the stocks, and then someone who actually knows how to do any of that bullshit does it for me, and I get paid anyways.
So, not talking to him, but talking to you in this world, would him being able to get his stocks be in jeopardy if it was found out that he was somehow involved in killing his dad?
Yes.
Okay.
If he was found to be involved in the murder or assisted suicide or whatever, then all of his assets would be frozen, essentially, and probably turned over to the state.
Okay. I guess the big thing that I gained from this so far is that Catherine has definitely talked with Lisa. And I know you had mentioned that on the last thing, but he's confirmed that also.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if there's anything useful I can get out of this kid that we haven't already gone. Okay. So did I ever get a alibi from him from where he was at when his dad died? Because I assume probably would have been...
I don't recall you asking for one.
I think I will go ahead and ask him that now that he's more sober and awake. Because when I first met him, he was at that bar.
Yeah. No role required here. He says, same place you picked me up. You can ask anybody there.
After this, are you just planning on going back over there?
After this, I think I need something a little bit stronger than what I can get over there. I'm gonna just let loose a little bit. It's stressed me out. And you can tell he's a little shaky. He's probably been using substances so consistently that just being restricted from them for the few hours that you've kept him off of them is already seriously starting to wear on him.
Okay. I wonder if there's a way where I can force him to stay here longer. Okay. How about this? I'm going to step out, talk to some people, and I'll come back over here and do what we can do for you. And I leave. Is anybody that works that's there versed enough with law that I can talk with?
How are the people you know? Make a reasoning bureaucracy check.
Okay, that's going to be a +5. 14.
You'd say probably your two best shots. There's another detective that you've worked with tangentially. You know, he was a lawyer at one point. And then, you know, the police chief is probably your other best bet. It's probably easier to get that detective, but the police chief has more weight to throw around.
Okay, I'm going to go to the police chief.
Okay. Says, Corvo, where are you at with this case?
I'm hunting down a couple leads. I don't know if you noticed, but I got a Dalton, the Akley boy here. And I think we need to keep him a little bit longer. He's been heavily using. That's what I brought him in for. I need this kid as clear as possible. And I know that there's probably a lawyer somewhere trying to get over here. So what's the best way for us to go about keeping him contained a bit longer?
He puts out his cigar and stands stretching out which is a sight that most humans would find disgusting, but which you find mildly amusing, as his skin folds stretch taut.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's a
Pigtar.
Pigtar. That's right.
He says, all right, I can probably buy you a few more hours, but you're running tight on the clock here.
I know. We need this kid sweating though, so that if it turns out that he's somehow involved with this, we can get that information out of him.
I'll see what I can do. Start covering other leads.
Yeah.
He heads to go meet with the lawyer.
And start whatever hamster wheeling bullshittery they're going to
basically
come up with. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave. Amos should be freed up now, right?
Yes, Amos is freed up if you want to have him working something else.
How much more time do we have left before the 26 hours is up?
You've got about 8 hours, I'd say.
I'm going to have Amos stay here. Basically, just be my ears for what's going on this side of everything. And I think I'm going to head out and go to find Vodvirian. He's the only person I haven't really talked to at all. I just know he's connected somehow with Lisa Green, does narcotics, so I don't know if that could be a connection with her and then her affair with everything.
All right, so you're kicking it into high gear to meet up with Vodvern.
Do I know where to go for that? I mean, because my first guess was to go to a...
You know where he usually is.
Okay, cool.
And he is a contact, so if you really want to push your timetable to speed things up, you can call him. He's not going to like that, but you can do it.
If I know exactly where I need to go, then I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to worry about calling him.
I want you to make a fitness astropiloting check to see how quickly you can do this.
All right, so +2, 9.
You want to throw some experience on that?
Yeah, let's do that.
I think it's 2 experience that you need to spend.
Okay, so that'll put me down to 1, and that's just an extra dice?
Yeah, and that's enough. It doesn't matter what you roll.
Okay. It was a 2.
All right, so you get there on the double, make a astropiloting awareness check while you do that.
So this is for while I'm going through this section?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're, once again, to go as fast as you can, you're having to go out and around.
Okay, so awareness and astropiloting, that puts me at 3. Holy crap, total 6. So whatever this is...
You're pretty busy just trying to focus on keeping your craft on target and going fast. You're easily breaking 120.
And then I'm like muttering to myself, I hate zero gravity travel. I hate zero gravity travel.
There's no place like home. There's no place like
Gotta survive from my next coffee shop. Gotta survive. Okay, so I made it through though?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you make it, you sort of screech up to the usual haunt, which is, it's sort of like a skate park. It's a little bit different because the things people use to skate are different, but you can just think of it as a skate park.
Okay. Before I leave the cop car, I want to check to see if I've heard anything from Ricky.
Ricky. All right. You'd need to contact him because basically that's how this is, most of the time this is going to work, unless they come up with something that they know is going to be big. So you'll contact him on the way, make your reasoning investigation check for him.
Okay, so that's +7, 14 total.
And you had him looking into Lisa Green.
Right, that is the last thing I had him do once he discovered that she's connected with us.
So he turns up that Lisa Green has had other identities she's gone by, and those identities have had rap sheets. She has mob connections and is to some degree known as a sort of black widow. So suspicious, to say the least.
Nah, that's fine.
But she hasn't done anything on the record in the last 5 years or so. No established connection to outside of what you already know to anybody else.
So she has all these aliases that she used to have. Why isn't she like in prison if it's all well known for this information?
Basically, they paid to get her out.
Okay.
Her bail's been paid. Technically, she's on parole, but also these haven't all happened in your sector. She doesn't technically have to be arrested for those. And your space station is busy enough that if someone murdered someone in another sector and then they came here and they just don't murder anybody, you're probably just not going to bother.
Right.
Unless you run into them doing something else. Then you'll add it on as an extra charge.
Okay, so then I think I tell Ricky that's some good detective work there. I'll make sure to let the higher up know that you're doing good work. Can you get eyes on her?
He says, I can try, but that's
a big ask, I know.
It's pretty tricky to, that's what you want him doing, just try and track down Lisa Green.
If anything, definitely at least track down her residence. If possible, then yeah.
Yeah, he can give you her listed residence pretty easily.
Okay. Yeah, see what you can do there, Ricky, and then get back to me if anything comes up.
All right, do that. Get out. You can see Vodvern. He's talking to some people.
Vodvern, he's alien, but he's not the same species as me, right?
No, he's a humanoid.
Okay.
So that's just what I'm calling anyone that's like Star Trek alien. You know what I mean?
Mass Effect alien.
Yeah.
Then I go ahead and go up to Vodvern, and however we normally greet each other, that's what I do.
All right, so you put a hand on his shoulder and scare off his clients because that's what you do.
Nice.
He goes, God damn it, Corva.
Sorry to make a mess of your business, but I gotta talk with you, man.
Says, yeah, what's in it for me?
Well, we get to keep on being buddies.
He sort of spits on the ground and says, fine, you owe me a round at Mix.
Man, love Mix, so that sounds like a good deal to me. What can you tell me about Lisa Green?
Make a influence street talk check.
That's a +4. Nice. 15 total.
Lisa Green, I met with her pretty recently. Sounds like she's involved in some nasty business. Wanted me to whip up some supplies for her, get her in contact with some people.
Any way you can tell me which people those people are?
Make a interrogation awareness check.
So that's a +6. That's a 16 total.
Look, this is going to cost you more than a round at Mix. You get what I'm saying? This is big shit.
You know I'm good for it, man.
He sort of looks around again. All right, it was a mob job, all right. She wants some disguise so she can look like she's someone else. Shift the blame a little bit. She was going to escort some mob asshole to some guy's house. That's all I know. I let her know where she could get some bioscan wigs, that kind of shit.
So she was looking to get a disguise and you helped her get that sorted out. And her job was to escort someone for the mob.
Yeah. That's all I know. Make a flat awareness check.
Okay, +4. 11.
All right, you get a feeling in sort of the back of your neck. We're going to give you a choice. Do you spin around to see what's behind you, or do you hit the deck?
And I'm not wearing my armor, am I? Because I talked about it, but I never actually did it. Dang it.
Yeah, I got you there.
Yeah, you did. I'm going to hit the deck, but I'm also going to Vodvern down with.
Yeah, just in time as shots ring out over you. Make a awareness check for initiative here.
Okay.
As people are screaming and running.
Just awareness?
Yeah, just flat awareness.
Okay, +4. 14.
All right, you're going to get to go first. You can now turn your head enough to see there's about 3 what you would guess to be mobsters, fairly professional looking hitmen with pistols. You've got enough time to try and do something here. You're fast enough, that is.
Okay.
Their pistols are already moving down to shoot towards you.
Just so that, because I assume my character would probably know, were these shots for both of us or just me, you think? Like, what did it look like it was, or I wouldn't know that?
Make a reasoning composure check to see if you were able to work that out in the heat of the moment.
Okay, so that's a +5 total. 11.
These shots were meant for Vodvern.
Ooh. Okay, so then with that, I look over at Vodvern and I say, I'm not going to count this as the favor.
You catch the... Well, actually, you might not catch. You have poor smell. Make an awareness check just to see if you catch this.
So that's +4 to this roll, or is that going to be...
With a -1.
Okay, so 3.
+3 total.
Okay, that's a total 10.
Okay, so you catch the smell of urine as he's fumbling for his own pistol. Says, yeah, let's fucking get out of this.
Okay.
All right, what's your move?
God damn it, I should have put on my
Pull
armor.
your pistols.
Yeah, I grab both my main gun and my taser. And so my guy, he has his bug eyes. Are those kind of separated from my main sort of skull, like where they're kind of like floating up, or are they more human-like in the sense of close to the head?
Think praying mantis.
Okay.
So they're in your head.
Okay. Is there any mirrors or anything that I can look at for a reflection of these guys?
You can see these guys well enough to pull your shots at them if you want.
Okay. So there's 3 of them. How are they positioned right now?
Right now, there's kind of in like a triangle, basically. They're right in front of a car, not that far from your own. Not car, but you know what I mean.
Does it happen to look like the same vehicle that was tailing me?
Yeah.
Nice. Paint me where we're at as far as scenery.
So there's like a low fence, you would guess, just to kind of keep vehicles from running into this area. Then you've got the skate park, so you could go down into that if you wanted to. There's people running to the other end to try and get away from this. And then there's metal buildings on either side.
I'm going to tell Valverde to stay here, and I'm going to drop down to where that ramp or whatever it is that goes below and pull my guns and be ready to fire if any of them come down here.
Are you taking him with you?
No, if where he's at, he has cover, I want him to stay there.
He does not. You guys do not have cover.
Okay, then I don't say what I said. I say, come down here with me.
Okay.
And then from down here, is there any place where he can get cover?
If he's down there and they don't get closer, he has cover, basically.
So then can I start walking kind of towards them? Because I'm imagining if it's a ramp, then that means it has to connect with that other side somewhere else as well.
Think kind of like the skate park, the bowl sort of thing that they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're kind of getting down into. So he can sort of roll and just fall into it. And then they're outside the skate park. So they're past the little barrier. They're on the road, basically, the sidewalk.
Okay, then you know what? If Vavern, if he's down into the bowl of the skate park, then I'm going to get up and fire at two of the guys.
Okay, so he's going to try and roll into that as you do this, because this is all happening quickly, despite the amount of time it takes to describe it.
Right.
So make double fitness firearms checks, one for each of them, and just tell me which one is which here.
Okay, so fitness firearms, that's going to be a total of +5. So guy 1, whoever that is, that's what this is going to be.
I'm just talking about which gun you're using, is what I'm asking.
Okay, so then this will be my main hand, my left hand. So that's going to be the real gun, not the sun gun. That is a total of +4, so
Plus
14 +5. Okay, sorry. +5, so that is 15.
Okay, so you take the man's gun hand off,
Nice.
and he falls back screaming. Roll for your stun pistol.
Okay, stun pistol. +5, so that is 10.
Okay, it's a clean shot. He goes down, but you don't get any extra effect from that like you did back at the start. And I'm going to roll for Vodvern here. Vodvern manages to avoid getting shot, but his own attempts to squeeze off a few shots don't net you anything. And let me roll for the remaining mobster. He nails you with a shot. He hits your sort of right beside your shoulder, like, I don't know what you'd call this, your upper chest. Nothing vital is hit, but you are now wounded.
So is that filled bruised or?
Yeah, bruised, sprained, and wounded. So now just whenever you're doing a fitness or awareness check, I believe it is, for either of those, take 2 off, basically.
And I say, shit.
So awareness check again.
Really should have wore that armor. So, and this will have the -2 on it, correct?
Yes.
+2. 11 total.
You're going to get to go first again, luckily. I assume you're just going to shoot this guy.
Yeah, fitness and firearm.
Yep.
And the -2.
Yes.
Okay, so that will be +3 to my roll. That is an 11.
All right. I'll assume you were using your stun pistol here, because there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
You take him down. So what do you do first? Do you first radio for backup, or do you go in for handcuffs?
Handcuffs first.
Okay. Cuff them, Vodvern. I think Vodvern just stays down until you say otherwise. And then I assume you're going to call in and let people know.
Yeah.
So you let people know, because I assume you're going to have them pick these guys up.
I mean, I'm not going to leave them, but yeah, I let them know.
Do you call in? You have an option here. You can either basically put a patch on your wound and just keep going, or you can call in a medic and that'll take time, but you can deal with your wound.
How much time?
It's going to take probably at least an hour.
You know what? I think I'm going to get the patch on and I'm going to put on my vest.
Okay. Patch, vest. Are you going to call in your information about Lisa? Put out an APB?
Yes. So you're saying as far as letting it be known that Lisa is definitely still working for the mob and is transporting someone with a disguise.
Yeah, basically, you don't know that it's necessarily involved with this, but you know that it is suspicious, to say the least.
Definitely. I mean, she's a hired assassin too, and I got a guy that's dead that was with her. So yes, I put that out there.
All right, what are you going to do with Vodvern?
So I go up to Varver and I say, is there anything else that I should know about this that you can think of?
And I'm going to need you to make let's call this influence street talk to try and get him like out of fight or flight to where he can say something useful.
Okay, so that's +4. Do I get a penalty to this?
No penalty for this one.
Okay, so +4. 13.
And it sort of like takes a bit of you sort of getting him to calm down. She said something about she wanted to screw over some other lady, Kathy or something. I don't know.
Okay. Would you prefer to stay with my boys here, or are you just going to go off and do your own thing? Because I'm going to need you to share what happened here.
I'll take that police protection, thanks. Apparently,
Okay.
no goodwill for my work here. And he kicks one of the guys you have cuffed. Not hard enough for it to matter to you, but just sort of fuck you to them.
The two that I stunned, are they out completely?
They're sort of dazed. You would have dealt the one that lost his hand. I assume you patched that just so he doesn't bleed out. Well, actually, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Your energy pistol would cauterize the wound.
Right.
So he's probably the most coherent of them. The other two, after getting hit with a stun pistol, there's a brief period of unconsciousness, and after that, sort of like drunkenness for a while.
Okay, so then I'm going to look at the guy that I shot off the hand and say, who hired you?
I need you to make an interrogation influence roll.
Okay, another +4. 9.
This is, your mother. Fuck off.
Trying to decide if I should do this. I'm going to grab his stump of a hand now and say, if you don't want to lose another one, you're going to tell me more information.
Do you, like, squeeze it when you do that?
Yeah.
All right. I'll say make another influence interrogation check and just add 1 to that.
Yes. +5. Let's go. 14.
All right. Fuck. Fucking bug. Stanton. All right. He doesn't want anyone talking about this. All right. Stanton. Speeding things up, you get the full name is Hayden Stanton. He's another mobster, and what you gather is that he's the one who went to go do the hit in question. Details are light past that, but you know that he is going to be the guy who actually did the hit.
On Akley?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know why, but you do actually get that information out of this. Might be the fastest you've ever gotten a mobster to roll on somebody.
I just had to do a dirty cop thing.
Yeah.
Now it all makes sense.
A certain, very annoyed now lawyer does.
But how would he know I was involved? I mean, that was the police chief. He did that.
I think we'll cut it there as other police officers show up to cart out these gangsters.
This is the 4th episode of our coffee-loving, crime-solving detective bug Corva. Now that Corva has crossed the lines to get answers, we have a solid lead on who killed Akley. Will we find Hayden Stanton? Will we find out who ordered the hit? Find out next time. We at the Die Again podcast love to hear your thoughts, so drop your comments wherever you're tuning in from. Also, don't forget to follow us on X and Threads. Just search for Die Again podcast, all one word. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode. See ya. Okay, no, that's pretty good. 18 plus 3, so 21.
18 on 2d6?
Plus 3. Okay.
This is not your night. You got your bit to add on to the ending now.